This video is part of a series of videos that shows you how to install the Fuse Agile Integration Demo. In this particular video, I'm going to show you the configurations of how to set up the 3scale API management console. The APIs are exposed by the API gateway, and the installation of API gateway and the other services are on my previous video. Please do watch them. Now, 3scale. 3scale consists of two different sections or two different parts. We're going to configure our everything on top of the 3scale admin system, and all the traffics that is monitored are going through the APICast proxy server. There are two different options that I have in my installation guide. The first one is running it on top of the SaaS application, and the second option is running a on-prem version. I highly recommend you to run it on top of the SaaS application, as the on-prem may take a lot of your local computing resource, and the functionality of both of them are basically the same. So if you don't previously have a 3scale account, please do sign up. And then we're going to create a access token. This access token allows the users to use the account management APIs. This is used for CI/CD purpose later on for our pipelines. And please don't lose the token, because you cannot get it back once you refresh the page. The only thing you can do is to create another one. And after that, we're going to go to set up the settings inside 3scale. So what we're doing here is we're going to set up a new services that allows 3scale to monitor all the APIs that's provided, and also set up a application plan, which is how I wanted to charge and how I want things to be monitored within my API services. So first of all, copy the command line, and then here are a couple of things that you need to replace within the command line. First is the application token, and second is the 3scale host domain, which is the beginning part of your admin URL. And then what we're gonna copy and paste that into the command line console, and then this is going to go up and talk to the backend administrator, and then install and configure everything for you on top of that. And please make sure that you save all this output for later use. We're going to need all this configuration or all the settings for the CI/CD pipelines. And once we've done that, if we go back to the console, you will see now it has a financial application services that's available. If you go inside, you will see now this services is using a self-managed APICast, which we are going to install later on in this video. And just for you to note, I would like to use the new APICast setting. So I'm going to turn this into the new APICast configuration. You should be able to find the newly set up application plan underneath the application plan tab on the left hand side. Now that all the settings for the API services are ready, it's time to grant access for your developer accounts to access all the API settings that you have previously done. And so to do that, it's very simple. It's similar to what we've done to set up the API gateways. First of all, provide the Fuse or the 3scale host, and then access token as well. And this time we need to provide an application ID, which tells 3scale that the developer's account will now access the API using this particular access plan. So we're just gonna copy and paste this, and it is going to install the access rights or provide the access right to my developer's account. If you go back to the developers tab on the top right hand side, and then clicking developer's account, you should be able to see application that's granted to the developer's account. So now that we have everything configured, it's time to configure the APICast proxy. The APICast proxy is the actual proxy server where your API would have accessed. The reason why I'm choosing a self-managed API proxy is that all the traffic going from client and my application API server will never go through 3scale for safety reasons. and privacy reasons as well. But there's always another, if you don't want to set up your own proxy server, there's always an option for you to install everything on top of the cloud services. So for that, I need to set up a secret, so it has all the authentication for my authentication that talks to the backend server. And then here I'm going to start up my APICast proxy inside my production environment. And now you should be able to see that running inside the production environment. And then we're going to create a route. This route will allow outside access through your APICast proxy to your applications inside OpenShift. And to allow this happening, we have to go back to the administration console and then letting 3scale know that where the services is inside OpenShift, and then set up the public base URL so that there's no one's accessing it with other different URL that's provided. And then there are different URLs that I wanted to monitor as well. So I just wanted to put down the 3 different API that's provided, and also make sure you get the HTTP method right as well. And then I wanted to put a testing URL so that 3scale can help me verify that this API is working. Then I'm going to test it, and now everything works, so that I'm ready to promote it to production. Once we're done, the API is now officially monitored and managed by 3scale. We won't be able to test it now, but after the CI/CD pipeline, you should be able to see how it works overall together.